Dear students, myself Sayyid Hanasi and I welcome you all to this channel, Pillars Institute. Here we are going to have a brief discussion on economics for class 10 CBSE. In this particular subject, you are going to get a detailed knowledge of the terms and the basic knowledge about the functioning of an economy and economical terms. The first chapter of your syllabus is development. In this particular chapter, you are going to learn about the concept of development, its parameters, types of development, and way through which one can assess the extent of development in a context of personality and in the context of society. You will also come to learn about the authorities who are being responsible for analyzing the extent of development in a context of an economy and individual. What are the parameters with which we are going to assess the extent of development, and what is the ways through which we can attain development and compare our development with our surroundings and environment. So the very basic purpose of this chapter is to make a student aware about the personal achievements and their assessment. Second chapter that we have is sectors of economy. In this chapter, you will come to know about the functioning of an economy and the division of an economy into different three sectors. How they contribute toward the development and the growth of economy. What are the functions and the activities performed in different sectors? What are their roles in the national economy? What role they play? And what is the contribution of different sectors in an economy? What are their importance and what are their functions and features? The purpose of the chapter is to make student aware about the classification of the sectors in an economy so that he can understand their functioning, their role and their significance, and the activities done under different sectors, how they are being interrelated, and what are the relationship between the three sectors that will bind the economy as a whole. The third chapter of your syllabus is money and credit. In this chapter, you will come to know about the origin of the money, its definition, its characteristics, and its function. How money will solve the problem of double coincidence of bond, and the importance of credit in an economy for an individual and for the sectors also, for the business also. Why money is so crucial for the national development and the personal development, and what is the role of money, what is the role of credit, what is the functioning of the bank. In this chapter, students come to know about the functioning of banking sector and the role of money in a society. They will come to know that it is because of the money we can exchange goods and services without any problem, without any difficulties. How money can assure a very easy and convenient exchange. The next chapter of your syllabus is globalization and the Indian economy. This chapter focuses on the importance of globalization of an economy. In this chapter, you will come to know what is globalization is all about, why we need globalization, and what is the impact of such policies on the economy of the country. How the economy of the country is being affected by these policies which is being observed by the government of the nation. And what are the advantages and disadvantages of globalization policies? What is liberalization of trade? How this liberalization will result in the investment and availability of resources and technology from the developed nation to the developing. What are the impact of this globalization policy onto the developed economy as well as on the developing? The chapter focuses on the relationship between Indian economy, particularly with the rest of the world. How globalization changes the perspective and the growth and development of the Indian economy regarding with the developing. What are the resources, what are the things that we get, and what are the price that we have to pay in order to get these facilities from the developed nations. The last chapter, which is consumer right, gives you a brief discussion regarding with the trade practices and consumer and seller relationship and the function of seller and consumer and how they are being fooled by the seller. What are the malpractices that seller do in order to have a maximum profit? In order to have more profit, they start fooling consumer. In this chapter, you will come to know what are the ways through which you can protect yourself from the fraud which is being done by the consumer while selling the commodities and giving the services. This chapter makes students aware about the rights that Consumer Protection Act will give to each and every individual, each and every citizen of the country, through which they can secure themselves from the fraud and malpractices which is being observed by the seller in the market. In this way, you will come to know about the rights as well as the duties which are being given by the law to a sensible and national consumer. This chapter also describes you about how to be a rational consumer, free from emotions, free from foolishness, and free from lack of information. How you can approach in case of being cheated by seller. What are the ways through which you will get your judgment, you will get your justice in case when someone cheats you, or you will have to face a fraud from the part of the seller. So where you will go to get to seek justice? In this chapter, we also have introductory knowledge of Consumer Protection Act as COPRA, so that you may be aware of certain basic law and the duties and the rules and the rights which is being given by the law to each and every consumer of the country. For detailed lectures, you can subscribe my channel as well as you can buy a course on different sites which will be provided by the facility providers. Up to then, thank you very much.